Hello, welcome to my training. This training is going to be on how to do progress invoicing. Now, it might sound easy, but sometimes if you don't do it correctly, you won't have a correct report or a near perfect report. So this is how it goes. So the last time I showed how to allocate an expense to a job for job costing. So, but I skipped some little one or two steps. But the intention was just to show us how to allocate the expenses to job cost to a job. So now remember we create an estimate. So I'm going to go back to that estimate. So let's assume after we send this estimate to the customer agree that okay, go ahead. I agree in full. I want you to go ahead and go ahead with the project. So now your invoicing will be based on your level of completion, your level of job completion. So if just like I did the last time, we wrote a check for concrete, and we incurred an expense on that before we now create an invoice to as a progress. So let me do that now. So let's say uh, remember the last video, that video was for how to allocate expense to a job. So but this video is for progress uh, invoicing. So now this is the invoice. You see that the estimate is still available. Now let's say I actually incurred an expense for this value. So select A. So let's say mercenary. Remember, your progress invoicing has to go in line with what you have on your estimate. So let's go to check. So now I'll select that, then I say okay. Now amount that we have for mercenary is how much? Let's say 25. Okay, it's 25. So let's say 15%. So I'm gonna go ahead and on this quantity here, I'll put 25. Then here I'll put 0.15. Okay, put 0.15 to reflect 15%, which is 375. So let me say I'll go ahead and incur these expenses. Remember, I have to select the job. Then if you want it billable, if you don't want it billable, you uncheck that. So let's say we want it billable, and because we want to actually create an invoice after this, so let's do save and close. So mercenary, okay. So now we want to create an invoice. We've incurred our expenses, so now we'll go back to our estimate and say okay, let's create an invoice on this estimate. So now you have an option to create invoice for the entire estimate. I have not carried out an expense on those. So I won't be selecting this option. You create invoice for a percentage of the entire estimate. So let's say we've done with 20% of all of them. If I just put 20% now, it will reflect 20% of the three items. But no, I'm not going that way. So I want to create an invoice for a selected item. So I'll click on that. So it will enable me to individually select the item. So now it's mercenary. Remember, it's 15%. So I put 0.15. I want to invoice that customer for that expense I just incurred, which is 15%. So once I go ahead and click on OK, to take me to the invoice window. Now you see on the invoice window, okay, they're trying to tell you that it has some item here as 0 that you should not delete them because it's part of the estimate. So now I leave that to today's date, okay, which is correct. Then I'll go ahead and save and close. Yes, now you see if we go back to the estimate, we've created an invoice now. So let's go back to that estimate. Now you still have your estimate here, as it is. Yeah. Now if you go to reports, you click on jobs. Okay, so let's click on estimate versus no, job progress invoice versus estimate. Now when I click on that, I'm going to select the date range first, and this method is this report is very important. Okay, 1st of April. Now refresh. Now you see over here, the only item that is shown here is the estimated and the progress invoice. So on this particular estimate that we've created of 12,300, we've done 3.05% of it total. So but which is 375. So if I double click on that, it will take me to the estimate. So now with this report, you can see what you have estimated and how far you've gone with the project so far. But now you see we don't have a report on that expense we incurred earlier on as concrete. So now remember I told you I was just using that for an example on how to do progress, how to allocate expenses to a job. So now let's go back to that. I want to assume we are to select that item. So let me go back to customer, click on the invoice. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that invoice, this concrete here. So remember we're supposed to go with that. So I click on delete. Okay, so remember it's 20%. So now this is an invoice, so I want to go back to that estimate. Okay, customer estimate. To see that estimate here. So from here I'll create an invoice, then I'll select that item, then remember it's 20% of concrete, so I want to put 0.2 here. Okay, now which is 1000. Now I'm linking that invoice with the estimate. That's why it's called progressed invoice. So now I'm gonna go ahead and save this 1st of April. Yeah, okay, let's show this. I'm not deleting. So I'll go ahead and save and close. So now if I go back to that progress invoicing, okay, refresh. Now it has increased to 11.18. So we have 1375. So you see now we've done 2 progress invoicing. So we'll go to, that is just this. We'll go to reports and go to jobs. Now we have estimate versus actual summary. Now we are going to have the 2 items here, so I'm going to select. So now I think with that already we already know how to do progress invoicing. Okay, refresh. So you see the total of 1375. So but more importantly, if you want to see the progress of your job, you go with this. And if you don't go with progress invoicing, you definitely would not see that item on this window here. So that is why I had to go back to edit or delete that invoice and create another invoice, but this time around mapping it to the estimate we created earlier. So this is how you go about progress invoice. Hope you enjoyed this class. Hope you understand. If you have any question, drop it on the comment section. Please like, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share and turn on notification so that once I make any new video, you get notified. And in addition, we offer bookkeeping services and accounting services. So if you need us to clean up your books, if you need us to migrate you to QuickBooks, we offer those services. We create your invoices, we upload them, you create your customers, vendor, your transactions. We do after services. Hope to see you guys in my next training. Have a wonderful day. Bye.